welcome back to Decode's Concept Corner. I'm Sophie, one of our lead literacy mentors here, and today we'll be learning about two-letter blends. If you haven't seen our last video on double trouble, make sure to go check that out, and let's get started. Two-letter blends are two consonants next to each other in a word that each make their own sound. So this is pretty similar to digraphs that we previously learned about. Our digraphs, remember, are two letters that come together to make one sound, but with our two-letter blends, each consonant is going to be making its own sound. So we have a few examples here. We have this first word that says slug. We put it together, we have the word slug. So our two-letter blend here would be SL. It's our two consonants next to each other, but they're still each making their own sound. Another example over here of an ending blend would be the word ramp. So we have MP right here. It's our two consonants next to each other, but we still are each making our own sound. Lastly, we have the word trip down here. So this TR blend right here, the T and the R are coming together to say tr. So we still have the two sounds there. We have T and R, but our word is trip. When reading words with two-letter blends, it can be helpful to first identify the blend and then sound out the word. So let's look at this word right here. Can you identify where our two-letter blend is at? That's correct. We have our FR right here. So I know that's a two-letter blend because it's two consonants next to each other, but it's not one of our digraphs, so they're not making one sound. So let's sound out this word now. We had our blend here. We have R. We can put that together. We have R. Now let's read the rest of our word. We have og. Let's put it all together. We have frog. When we say it fast like a word, frog. What about this word? Can you find where our two-letter blend is at? If you said it's the MP at the end here, that's correct. So we have our two consonants next to each other, but they're still each making their own sound. So our M and our P together, if we blend those sounds, we have Let's read our word now. We have jump. Can you identify where our two-letter blend is in this word? If you said it's our DR here at the beginning, that's correct. So this is one of our trickier blends because the sound changes a little bit. So instead of saying dr, we say dr. So this D sound changes just a little bit when it's in our DR blend. So if we sound out this word, we have drop, drop. So we still have four sounds here, but that first one changes just a little bit. Let's look at this final example here. Can you find where our two-letter blend is at in this word? That's correct. It's our BL here at the beginning. So we have two consonants next to each other, but they're each making their own sound. So let's sound out this blend first. We have b, l, l. Now let's read our word. We have block, block. Great job. One multisensory activity we can use to practice spelling words with two-letter blends is Play-Doh. So what we can do is give our students the word and have them decide how many sounds are in the word. They can then break the Play-Doh into that many pieces. So for example, if they heard 4 sounds in the word, they could break the Play-Doh into 4 pieces, and then we can touch and say using our Play-Doh, and lastly write our word. So I'll show you how that works. Our first word is going to be crash. Let's first say our word slowly. Crash. And we can use this motion to help us say it slowly. Crash. How many sounds do you hear in the word crash? If you said 4 sounds, that's correct. So we'll take 4 pieces of Play-Doh here, and we can touch and say our sounds using the Play-Doh. So we can go k, r, a, sh, crash. Great job. And then lastly, we can write our word. So we're going to have k, c, r, r, a, which is our short A sound. And lastly, we had sh, which we know is our SH digraph here. And we'll read our word all together. We have crash. Let's try another example. Our next word is going to be trip. Let's slow it down. We have trip. I hear 4 sounds in that word, so I'm going to take 4 pieces of Play-Doh again. And we can touch and say our sounds using the Play-Doh. So we had t, r, I, p, trip. Let's write it. We had T, R, I, which is our short I sound. And lastly, we had P. Can you identify where our two-letter blend is in this word? If you said it's our TR, that's correct. We've got two consonants next to each other, each making their own sound. Another great activity to do to practice blends is sorting words between if they have a digraph, a blend, or even both. So let's look at a couple of examples here. If we have this word, we have two consonants next to each other right here. And we can determine if they are a digraph, making one sound, or if they're a blend, making two separate sounds. Is this here one of our digraphs? Yep, it's our SH digraph, which says the sh sound. So this word would have a digraph in it. And we can sound out the word. We have sh, wish. So this word will belong in our digraphs category. What we can do with this activity is make it multisensory using a basketball sort or any other game that you would like to practice sorting words between digraphs and blends. Let's go through some tips and tricks together that will help us read and spell words with two-letter blends more accurately. The first tip is that whenever segmenting and spelling words with two-letter blends, it can be really helpful to first slow down the word. So if I'm going to spell the word frog, I'm first going to want to slow it way down. So I'm going to start up here and I'm going to go frog, making sure I hear all those sounds first. And then I can finger stretch. And lastly, I could spell it more accurately. Another tip for reading words with two-letter blends is to first identify the blend before reading the word, just like we did with our examples. So if your student is reading the word slug, for example, that has a two-letter blend, you can have them first identify that blend and then read the word, which can help them read it more accurately. One final tip is that the blends TR and DR can be more tricky for students at first, so you might need some extra practice on those. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Concept Corner on two-letter blends. If you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend. And be sure to watch our next video on three-letter blends. Thank you!